Hello everybody, what's happening, my name's Neil, welcome along to Midlife Motors. Good news, we're finally able to bring the Polo to the channel. Mrs. Midlife Motors new car, I don't know if you followed our epic trip, I'll put the link up here to go and collect it. It's finally on the channel, her car has finally arrived on the channel. It's been about 4 weeks and to be honest, I haven't been able to prise the keys out of her hand. She absolutely adores this little car. So I thought we'd take it for a drive. The deal was I had to give it a wash today and then I could take it for a run. So I did my bit. So I thought I'd take it for a drive and see what all the fuss is about. Quick update, it's a 2019 car. We're the second owner. This is the one with the 2-litre, I think it's the Golf GTI engine just turned down a bit. It's a DSG gearbox. It's got lots of fancy stuff, which I'm not going to go on about. I don't know how to make boost gauges appear and all that sort of stuff. I do, however, know that I like these virtual dials, the virtual dashes that people are going towards. I'm quite old-fashioned. I'm pretty bad at tech, but I like this sort of stuff. So away from the performance side, it's a lovely seating position. The seat is with these, I've driven a few Volkswagens. I'll stick one up here over the last year, and it's you get a really good seating position. The pedals are perfectly spaced. The steering wheels are lovely. This one again has a panoramic roof, which makes the interior just a nice place to be. They're always quite plasticky, and this one's no different, but they always feel well screwed together. I mean, the plastic will wear and scratch, but I don't think it will rattle. It does feel solid. This feels like a very, very solid car. Impressed. At the price point, you can't not be impressed. And just driving around like this, the gearbox is really easy. I mean, it's just an easy car to drive like this. It is another one of these cars that has 2 facets to it. You can use the paddles. The paddles are too small. I noticed that the paddles are too small. They need to be larger. So you can put it into sport mode and blast about in it, change gears like this, think that you're doing great, or you can just put it into a nice sedate mode, and this car will easily achieve over 40 miles to the gallon in normal conditions, normal mode, not going crazy. I've noticed a few things when I've been driving this car today. I'm in sport mode just now, and I'll go through a few corners here in sport mode and tell you what I think. The pickup in 4th gear, crikey Moses. Brakes, they're strong, but they seem to be either on or off. They're not easy to adjust, so you tend to over brake a little bit. I think as you had a little bit more confidence and seat time, that would change. I mean, I'm just using 5th gear. The engine has so much torque. The car feels very light. The steering feels very light, too light. Oh, it digs in nice there though. So my impression of sport mode is quite frantic, the steering's sharp, the throttle response is good, it's instant, the mid-range punch is great. So you think, excellent. However, I pushed on the other day in normal mode, and I thought, we're going for normal, I thought it was better. The throttle response is not quite as sharp, but the ride is softened off, and so's the steering, and that makes the steering a little bit more playful. Oh dear, see, I told you this is a bad corner. There's a car. That makes the steering more playful and more adjustable. And the other good thing about normal mode is when you use the paddles, it's not constantly wanting to downshift. In sport mode, all it wants to do is downshift, downshift, downshift. So I like to build speed through like this corner here, a long sweeping corner, and I like to just build speed in a gear, and then sometimes short shift like that, so you can just carry the speed, carry the throttle, and the car's much more balanced. In sport mode, it wants to downshift all the time. Crikey, this car picks up. Wow. there is, if I press this, I'm not sure if the camera will pick this up, there is an individual mode. Now, I haven't set that, but I think if I was going to, I'd want the sport throttle and the normal everything else. The eco mode is terrible. I drove it in eco mode last night. It's rock hard. The suspension is terrible, and it doesn't really get you any more miles per gallon. So I'd not have anything out of eco mode. So there you go. There's my little thoughts on the modes. I've got used to a car with modes. My Mazda doesn't have modes. The MR2 doesn't have modes. I was having a look at the tyres that this car's on. Bridgestone, I can't remember the bit, I'll stick it up. Now, I don't think they suit the car. They feel very, I don't know if they're a bit more of an all-weather tyre, because this is probably a car that's used in every day, all day, in all weathers. It certainly is in our house. But they don't seem to bite. The chassis bites. The chassis bites nice, but the tyres don't seem to. They seem to glaze across the surface. Now, when we got this car, it had brand new tyres fitted to it, so it's not like they're old and knackered and tired. Be interesting to see what this would be like on maybe a set of PS4s or something like that. Or, I mean, if it was my car, I'd put it on Dunlop Deriza 03Gs or something crazy like that. But maybe they do work better all day, every day. So, but that's just something I noticed. I don't think the tyres on this, and I run Bridgestones on the Mazda, and I think they suit that perfectly, but I don't think they work on this. So I'll try and prove my point about in normal mode. See this, I like this road. It's nice, it's twisty, it's a bit off camber, on camber, and you know where you can and can't push, and it gets the sun, so it's nice and dry. But you need a car that's quite supple, and in sport mode this car would bounce around too much. So let's leave it in normal and see how the front end goes. Being fairly cautious because it's not my car. I just like that. I like the way you can build short shift, build speed through a long corner is great. The brakes are, oh yes, the brakes are, as they're getting warmer, they are getting more responsive. That gearbox changes gear in just, that's bonkers how quick that is. Yeah. It's definitely better in normal mode for pushing on around the back roads, definitely. But we're coming onto a flat bit now, so we'll put it in sport mode and see if I'm completely wrong. Oh, nice pop. Oh, good pop noises in sport mode. I think it would outrun the Mazda. I think it would outrun the Mazda quite comfortably, particularly once you get up into the mid-range there. This has got torque that the Mazda could only dream of. First gear, second gear, the Mazda does get off the line well, but yeah, this car's faster than mine. Damn! So after all that, we're back into sort of sedate mode, normal mode now, driving along, enjoying the car. Plenty, visibility's great, plenty of cubby holes, plenty of spaces, no rattles and rolls. The infotainment system I have used, it's really easy to use. Speakers are excellent. Sit quite far back. When we bought the car, we did a little bit of research on size. This car is more or less the same dimensions as a Mark IV Golf. So it's not quite as big as a Golf as everybody keeps going on about. A few people have asked, is it a Golf, when we brought it home, but no, it's not quite as big as that. You do notice that you sit, you know, I'm not a tall person, I'm back here with the B pillar in sort of in line with my head, so the space is a little bit more compact, but you've got to expect that. Fortunately, that's what Mrs. Midlife Motors wanted, and what Mrs. Midlife Motors wants, she tends to get. Well, there we go, first sort of introduction into the Polo. I'm not sure much is going to happen to this car. Mrs. Midlife Motors seems to love it the way it is, so I think it'll just get used. We'll maybe do an update in a year's time when it's a year old with the costs and how it's been. I haven't been too harsh on it, I don't think. I would be a brave man if I was. But yeah, it's just a good car. It feels well put together. It feels strong. It feels just feels like it's a nice place to be. It's just a great car. If you can like this, that would be fantastic, and if you can share it, then that would be even better, and if you can subscribe below, that would be supreme. I would really appreciate that.